has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast to the edge of life. Jesus saved me a time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of life. Jesus saved me a time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of life. Jesus saved me a time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. Happiness comes. That has come to me. Running fast for the edge of life. Jesus saved me a time. Running fast for the edge of life. Jesus saved me a time. Happiness comes so seldom. That has come to me. It is here in the Father's kingdom. It was there for me. You took me, and you washed away my sins. You washed away my sins. You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Toner, here. I am always so happy to have special guest friend. I can say that friend. Canada, Bradley. Bradley, how are you, sir?
Good, thank you. Hello. Yes, always happy to be here.
And so quick story time. Bradley was actually the one who was like, "Oh, are you going to do an dishonorable mentions?" I was like, "I've actually never done a podcast separate for that." And he's like, "Oh, well, if you want, I'd come on." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." So like, so he kind of was like, and I was like, you know what? And honestly, like, I know people say it each year because it's like the it's such a hipster thing to say, where it's like film is dead, no good movies came out this year. Like it, we hear this shit every year, and I don't know, y'all. I love this year. I love this year for film. Now before I continue on that path, I have to immediately contradict myself, because we have to talk about the Oscar nominations first, because boy howdy, there was some. I knew this was coming. This happens every year. There's always one nomination where I just go, "Oh God, really?" And this year, I got to say that about 14 times because goddamn Amelia Perez got, what was it, 14 nominations? Like,
Yeah, more like double digits.
yeah.
And
God,
historical for a international film as well.
which okay, like internet, like international film, like they're not primarily speaking, span. Wait, y'all, like just do a little bit of research on this movie, like in terms of how like the director was even like, we don't need to hire like Mexican actors. Like they didn't even shoot this in goddamn Mexico. Like
Well, when
people,
even David Ayer is like, I don't think Mexicans talk like that. You know, your
dude,
film's
right? Like, what are we fucking doing? Like, I don't like people celebrating this. I'm like, people, what? Like, you know what's so sad is, do you remember a couple years ago when Roma came out? And I
yeah,
remember
I remember
I remember
that.
people were like, "Oh man, I don't want to read subtitles." I was like, "You fucking assholes!" It's like, really, that's too much for you. And now Amelia Perez is, dude. Like, you know what's really funny is we were supposed to start about 30 like 40 minutes ago, and so I messaged Canada and I was like, hey man, like 25 minutes, let me grab some coffee, because I was out on the couch because my morning routine now, or has been, is I wake up around 6ish. Milo's usually at the gate. Milo's our orange white adorable kitty, who's 3. We keep him separate from his brother, Samuel L. Katzen, who is wandering around here in the office. But wake up, feed him at 6, open up the blind so you can see outside. And so I sat on the couch with him, passed out for a little bit, as I knew I was going to, because he jumped up my lap and it's game over. But as I was sitting there like reading through like the Oscar nominations, I just I was just kind of flabbergasted, because rightfully so, there was a ton of backlash about this movie after the Golden Globes. And like you know what, fuck it, I don't care, it's me. I'm lucky enough to get screener stuff sent to me. I've talked about this. I'm very blessed, I'm very excited, like I'm very happy when I get shit. I'm like, oh my god, cool. I got this box for Amelia Perez maybe 2 months ago, and it has just been sitting in my office. And I was like, I'll get to it once I really hit, screener season mode, which was earlier this year because, not working currently. So I finally opened up the box like 3 weeks ago, and I had like the score, the script, like a t-shirt. And I was like, cool, I don't want any of this now after watching the movie. So I was just like, what are we doing? Like, I wish I would have gotten a box for Woman of the Hour. That would have been great, because that's actually a movie that's well worth your time. If you have not seen Woman of the Hour, please watch Woman of the Hour. But we were talking about in the chat that I host, where celebrating this for trans rights would be like celebrating Soul Plane getting 14 Oscar nominations and be like, this is a win for Black people. It's not. In no way, shape, or form is this a win for trans rights. And I know that I know I'll get some trans person in the comments who will go like, how dare you speak on our struggle? Like, I look, as someone who's been very well engrossed in the LGBTQ community for decades, and I can literally say decades, the trans people I've talked to have been fucking appalled by this fucking movie, including our friend Jordan, who's in the chat, who has been losing her goddamn mind, and rightfully so, quite frankly. Because after I finally watched it, I was like, because I was sitting there like, like there's so much faux outrage. I was like, okay, how bad can this really be? And I think I got 40 minutes in, I messaged you. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna get through this. Like, I was actually feeling like that Joker Folie à Deux pull, and I was just like, god damn, this movie sucks. The one song in particular that really just made me go, oh fuck off. The main actress in it,
Zoe Saldana.
No, we'll get to that.
I'm sorry. That's right. She's supporting in this.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
she's in every frame, but she's a supporting character.
She's in the film more than the person who
Yeah. And that's a totally other issue. What do they call it? Category fraud, but maybe it
Oh
is a
yeah,
supporting
absolutely.
character. I mean, because the
No,
title of the
no, no,
film
no.
isn't her, so maybe there's leeway there.
So this is why I tell y'all that Rotten Tomatoes is bullshit. Because the fact this is a 76% is goddamn ridiculous. There's no
No,
reason it should
I
be
think
like
I think that's pretty high.
that's
Oh,
too
that's what you're
high.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's way too high. That is no. Um, and I also Carla Sofia Gascon, who is the trans actress, she did get nominated. So first time a trans actress has been nominated for Academy Award. I know some people will celebrate that. If you want to celebrate that concept, fair enough. I'm not going to judge you on that shit. What I'm here to judge is the performance, and her performance. Nah, fam, absolutely not. Considering what they have her do. So to date myself a bit, you remember the Splinter Cell games, right? Like,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
What Sam Fisher was the
yeah, good
protagonist?
very and
Yeah.
circle gets the square. Good job. Yeah. So those games, you had to use camouflage and stealth to go ahead and take down the bad guys, achieve your goal, yada yada yada. Being a trans woman is straight up uses camouflage in this movie, because there's a scene she has with her ex-wife, Selena Gomez, who plays Jesse, where she straight up from fucking nowhere just goes, "Oh hey, so how was your ex-husband in bed? Like, did you ever cheat on him? Like what was it like if you did cheat on him?" And I'm just sitting here going, how the fuck does this movie think this is okay? And the movie treats it like it's nothing. And that's just one example where I went, fuck you. I just went, fuck this. Like, this is madness. And people, like, some of the reviews, I said that it was a celebrate. I actually read a review that said it was a celebration of Latino culture. Dude, if I was sitting in the chair, I would have tipped it over. I was like, holy fuck. Like what? What are we saying? Like, I know people go after Green Book. I understand it. Like, the admittedly the let me teach a black guy to eat fried chicken scene, not great. I will fully acknowledge that. Here's the difference though. You have Viggo Mortensen in that, and say what you will, there is great chemistry between him and Mahershala Ali. And Mahershala Ali is god tier in that movie. You can criticize that film all you want, completely fair. He's incredible in that movie. He deserved that fucking Oscar. Zoe Saldana being up for, so yeah, let me get back to the nominations here. So okay, Best Picture. So I have seen all of the Best Picture nominees, with the exception of
that's impressive, sir.
with the exception of I'm Still Here, which I think I'm getting I think I'll be watching here. I think I'm getting a screener for that. So I'm Still Here is the only and Complete Unknown. I have not seen that one. But that's not on digital yet. What do you want from me, people?
Timothée Chalamet being Bob Dylan?
Yeah, I'll be real, man. Like, Bob Dylan's always one of those artists where I'm like, what a great songwriter, what a shit singer. Like
it's folksy. He doesn't have to sound great. Anybody can.
This is my impression of Bob Dylan singing. Hang on.
Oh no.
Tangled Up in Blue. That's basically how I think Bob. I think he's mush mouth when he sings. I think he's a horrendous singer in terms of pronunciating. Like great songwriter, man. But
well, he's such a good songwriter that people are surprised to find out he's still alive at all. And that's
oh yeah, he is still alive. Yeah,
that's kind of a compliment to someone's career when they're like, and he'll be remembered. It's like, he ain't dead.
We do that so we do that so often though with the biopics. Like, we wait till they're gone, and then
I'm starting to doubt myself. Like, I better double check on that.
You're like, oh, like, I just like you.
Bob Dylan alive?
You Jedi mind tricked yourself.
Yeah.
Is he
okay?
Bob
Dylan is 82.
Okay.
Bob Dylan. Okay, let me just
shout out, by the way, to like, I'm not a huge Coldplay fan, but that latest video they did with Dick Van Dyke was fucking awesome. Like, that was actually I was actually like, dude, Dick Van Dyke is still alive. Let's go. Okay, so really random. I used to love that show he did, Diagnosis Murder. I used to love that show as a kid. Like that was one of those like random ass shows. People were like, what do you watch? I'm like, oh, Diagnosis Murder. People were like, why? It's like a great fucking show. Anyways, so the full list of Best Picture nominees: Nora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, Wicked. So I will say, the fact that Sing Sing is not nominated for Best Picture is complete and total bullshit. That is the best picture of the year. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I know people go, what about The Brutalist? The Brutalist used AI for its cinematography and in several points for its vocals. So fuck that movie. I don't want it to win a goddamn thing. Out of what I have here to pick from, I'll be like, dude, no, seriously. Like,
I haven't seen it, but I just heard about that the other day, and people.
You remember I told you when I was watching it, I'm like, there's
something. What is it that you think you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I never questioned that about you because I don't know. You got like the eye. I'll just say I can never tell. My kids are pretty good at telling when something's been AI modified, I'll just say. But
I mean, they're also growing up like in the age of the technology too. So it's like I will say too, that's something like shout out to Canada's wife Amy too. Like they're raising some like very artistically like affluent kids is what I would say. Yeah, like your kids know what they're talking about. Like I hear like when we do voice messages and stuff, I'm like, oh, they're on the right path. This is good. We're gonna need kids like this, in the future. But I was like, look, the film was impressive for being like the budget was like 10 mil on it. I think the film looks great.
Oh wow.
But that being touted like, oh, we use some AI. I don't want to hear that shit. So it's like, no, I don't want you doing a goddamn thing. Out of what's here, I kind of want to see the world burn. So I kind of want The Substance to win. Like TBH. Like, and let me be clear. Wicked being there is fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Wicked being up for Best Picture is a goddamn shame.
Is it because the part one, or is it more than that?
Ding ding ding! Exactly. Yeah. It is part one. I am not like no. Like yeah, I don't get
incomplete films are always kind of
you don't get a grade for turning in half your fucking thesis. Okay, you should be getting Oscar nominations for half a fucking film. Sorry, and for those of you who want to come at me, because I know this is always like what people come back to, and I will keep running it into the ground. I didn't nominate Avengers Infinity War in my best of for that year because it was not a complete story. So I do not want to hear it. Wicked is good. It's good. It is not Best Picture worthy. For Amelia Perez shouldn't even be there. Like that's a no duh at this point. But yeah, it should be Sing Sing. Sing Sing should be on here. The fact that's not genuinely pisses me off. But for what's here, I hope it's Dune. I hope it's Dune Part 2. I think Dune Part 2 is fucking amazing. If it's not Dune Part 2, that's where it gets murky for me. Because I love Nora. I'd be happy if Nora won. Nickel Boys just came out like in more theaters last week. If y'all have not seen Nickel Boys, please go see Nickel Boys. But yeah, pretty much as long as Wicked, Amelia Perez, and The Brutalist, if neither of those win, I'd be pleased as punch. Like pretty much anything else can win. I don't want either of those three to win. I think it's absolute crap. Performance from a leading actor, Timothy Chalamet for Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, Sebastian Stan really for The Apprentice, not for A Complete Unknown. I didn't see
for
this one
a
earlier.
Different Man. Yeah.
Oh God.
I think A Different Man is the nomination, but I think they went with if you look at these nominees, I think the reason why they went with The Apprentice over his other film is because these all fit into the whole it's like a biopic category,
I hate
and the Academy loves that.
I hate that decision. No, that is a horrific. Academy, what the fuck are you guys doing? God damn. Like so no.
What's
So like
funny about it? Nobody wants to watch this movie.
no, I didn't watch it. Like
Like the
yeah, and
people
we're
who hate Donald Trump, the people who love Donald Trump. It's like the only thing they can agree on. Like, I don't want to watch a movie about Donald Trump. You
yeah.
know?
And Trump is saying that BLM and pride flags will no longer be allowed to be flown in government buildings. So fuck you for that, by the way, asshole. Okay. It should be Coleman Domingo. It should be Coleman Domingo. Like not even a question. It should be Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, I agree with that. Coleman Domingo has been my favorite performance 2 years in a row. Rustin on Netflix. If you haven't
Russ is
seen that, he was
amazing. Yeah, I watched
nominated
that
last
late.
year.
I watched that late after I'd done the list, and that yeah, it might have finagled its way on there, but yeah, it's Coleman Domingo with a bullet. It should be him. If it's not him, I'm gonna be real, y'all. Like The Brutalist is kind of that worst type of Oscar film for me, where it's like it needs to be 3.5 hours. It needs to be epic in order for you. Like, we are the Academy. If your film is under 3 hours, then fuck you. Like, and like I just like, and I'm so like I'm over that shit, man. I really felt like I was getting gaslighted last year by everyone who loved Killers of the Flower Moon and Oppenheimer being like, well, Hunter, why isn't this your number one? I'm like, I shouldn't have to watch a film for 3 fucking hours to go ahead and get the point. And I think The Substance is actually too long too, but at the same time, I think The Substance is at least true to itself in its final third, which is something I can give it credit for. These other films, I just think they're dragging. So
The Substance never stops escalating for anybody who wants to check it out.
Exactly.
Just know that the gas is not even full metal yet when you're 20, 30 minutes.
That last 30 minutes, man. God damn. But again, as someone who's not a body horror guy, like The Fly is kind of my limit, honestly.
Oh, okay.
And like the Alien films, like that's pretty much where I kind of cap. I'm at least happy I watched it because I at least can say I'm part of the discussion. I can actually give an informed opinion. Yeah, if you like body, like it's like Cronenberg, if you're into Cronenberg, cool, but his shit's just not typically for me. But I know a lot of people say Adrian Brody. I don't want Adrian Brody to win. I don't want him to win again for Holocaust the remix. I don't want his ass to win. So I hope it's Coleman Domingo. I believe he deserves to win, but we'll see.
Yeah, and my 2 cents. I just think repeat winners is kind of dull.
Yeah, I'm you kind of have to knock me really blow me away. And I look, Brody is great in the film. I will not sit here and say that he's not. But man, I'm so mad. I'm so mad they gave it to they gave it to Stanford the Apprentice because he's so great in A Different Man. Like that bothers me so much. Like that's the he won the Gold Globe for that one. Why are you not like, oh, Academy? You're so fucking frustrating. All right,
and his speech was so inspired too.
Yeah,
the Golden Globes. He can't go up and be all like, treat everyone with respect, like I did in this. Oh, wait a second.
Right, because him and Demi Moore's speeches beautifully mirrored each other, and I was like, okay, cool. Like he'll get enough. Oh my god. Okay, moving on. Performance by actress in a leading role. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Millie Perez, Mikey Madsen for Nora, Demi Moore for The Substance, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Demi Moore. It should be Demi Moore. Look, this is where I'm torn. I like Nora more. I like Mikey Madsen's performance more. I do. I think she's incredible in Honora. I was so happy for Demi Moore to get a role like this and to be able to like what worries me about this is that they could Promising Young Woman this shit, where it's like this is a film with a great message that really everyone should see, and then they're gonna go, Well, but it's not going to win anything. Like I'm very worried that they
Yeah.
could pull that shit with Demi Moore here. I'm really happy she got the nomination. I am worried that it could stop there. So I think there is a greater chance of Mikey Madsen winning than I think people are kind of talking about right now. So I'm gonna say Demi Moore for now, but I have a right to change my opinion by the time we get to Oscar night. Like the tea leaves could potentially end up going, um, with Mikey Madsen, but I'm hoping Demi Moore wins because I think she's amazing. And Demi, if you're ever on the West Coast, I'll treat you better than Ashton. I hold doors open, baby. It's just this year I'm just gonna shoot my shot more and more. So um, performance by a leading actress, Monica Barbara for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. She's amazing in that too. Conclave, she's great in Conclave. And then Zoe Saldana for Emilio Perez. I cannot express enough how much Zoe Saldana does not deserve her nomination and how that should be Margaret Qualley for the not for The Brutalist. Be a slightly different movie if Margaret Qualley was in The Brutalist.
Yeah,
but it should be
also a supporting role as well.
But it should be Margaret Qualley for The Substance. The fact she's not nominated is complete and total shit. I fucking hate that. I am terrified that Zoe Saldana is going to win this Oscar. Like I'm really worried she's going to win. She should not win.
I wanted to ask. So, for a white person like myself,
yeah,
hearing she learned how to rap and she rapped her music. For me, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know Spanish, and the only rap album I listened to last year was Kendrick Lamar dunking on Drake for 3 months.
a great thing to listen to.
But everyone I know, when I'm like, is her rap bad? There are people who I've asked that who have said, just a sec, I got Spotify, let me listen to it real quick, and they get back to me and they're like, that was horrendous.
Yeah. Like
is there something specific about why it's horrendous?
I think there's no confidence in how she actually spits the flow. I think that's the big thing for me. I feel it feels like it was dubbed too. It feels like she's not doing it in the actual moment. Yeah, that too. Also, I'll be real, that whole song she has about like, oh, like I'm getting older, look at me, I'm getting fat, look at my fat ass. I was like, really? You're like, you have a fat ass, like you think you're like, it's like, girl, come on now.
Maybe that was in the script before they cast,
Yeah, you know what? You might be right. Like that might have been one of those things where the paperclip from Word didn't catch it.
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah, like Clippy, you're asleep at the wheel. like it feels like that, man.
It sounds more like a spoken narrative to me than singing as well.
Exactly, and that's not how it should feel. It should never feel like you're like reading a phone book, and that's how it felt from. So that's really my issue with all the musical numbers now. Like I don't think there's any passion in those. Unironically, the kid, the one that maybe has the most passion is that kid, but he's also singing about how you smell like my papa, and that is just the most like god damn, that's a scene that I just was sitting there like my head tilted like one of those dogs where I'm just like, what am I watching here? Out of who should
bizarre
it's such a like, so outside of who should win, and I'll say this too, Ariana Grande being nominated, really we're giving her nominate, like really, that's all right. I guess we're just I don't get it, y'all. Like, I know you musical nerds love your Wicked, but man,
some of the musical nerds are kind of bummed that she didn't hit the big emotional beats. But the way that Michael Che films, and I'm all for it, he has Cynthia kind of carry those moments, and I think it works.
Yeah,
while Ariana Grande just kind of reacts to Arrivo. I mean, her prim posture, poise, and I'm better than everyone. It's good. It's, it works.
Yeah, Yeah, I really, I just, yeah.
I mean,
The
I'm sure there's like a lot of other people both of us could think of we wish were nominated instead.
Yeah, I just like my like the fact Zendaya is not a nominee is kind of fucking insane to me. Like that was the award where I was like looking through. I was like Zendaya. I was like, what? Nothing. And it's like, all right,
Yeah, and
like
she probably could have got in on supporting too, which is the crazy thing. Whenever there's
yeah,
an
like
ensemble.
because I was thinking Dune Part Two, or thinking
Hmm.
maybe Florence for Dune, or Rebecca Ferguson. I'm just like, okay, there are
Yeah. No,
like
no shade
yeah,
on the Dune book. I actually quite enjoy the first Dune book, but Zendaya's kind of elevating that character, and isn't that usually rewarded?
yeah. God, I really hate that. So, all right, moving. Oh yeah. So as far as who I should think I should win, I should probably throw out an actual win for this. So
Hmm.
okay, I think the Brutalist is too long. I will die on that hill. You will not convince me that it's not too long. Felicity Jones is amazing in the back half, and she elevates that back half. So I like begrudgingly would be happy if she won because I really like what she does in the back half of the film. Um, if you if you can't give it to her, give it to Isabella Rossellini because she's amazing in Conclave. All right. With that said, best animated feature film. I actually did, by the way, finally watch Memoirs of a Snail. I have not watched Inside Out 2 yet. That's actually the one I haven't seen.
Wow.
Because I'm kind of over. Like, I'll be real, man. I'm kind of over. Okay, that's a lie. I'm very much over Disney constantly having a presence in this award.
Mhm.
Like, where I really think at points they don't fucking deserve it. Like, I was sitting here kind of going, like, okay, how are they going to find a way to say Moana 2 deserves to be here? I was very happy to not
I'm
see
honestly
Moana.
surprised it isn't. You know, that's
Yeah, yeah, $1 billion
I
movie.
haven't seen it. I haven't heard anyone say, "Oh, get the kids rush out to see it." Just
Yeah,
kind of like it just kind of exists, and that's fine. You know, movies that exist are fine. But yeah, it not being
yeah.
announced was like kind of a win for the animation department.
So I'm really happy it's not. With that said, um, I this is kind of like picking between my like cats, like cute cats, where I'm like, I love you all and I want to take you all home. Um, I love The Wild Robot so much. That's a movie that made me weep. I think Lupita is an incredible voice actress. Um, I had a thirsty comment. I'm gonna be good. Like I like Lupita. I love you. She's incredible in that. Um, Wallace and Gromit. The fact Wallace and Gromit understands why AI is bad and Elon Musk can't grasp his concept. Like sometimes people look to kids' films. Kids' films simplify it for you, and some of you clearly need things simplified for you. But Wallace and Gromit is fucking fantastic. Um, it's Flow. Flow should win this award. It's 85 minutes. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's really kind of a dunk on the Old Testament when you take a half step back and look at how it presents itself. And I won't spoil more, but it's like because we talked about that, and
Yeah, yeah,
even when
yeah.
I
We
was
did.
watching it with the Leia, I was laughing. I was like, wait a minute. Because you're like, wait, the whole world flooded. There's all these statues of people who clearly didn't appreciate the world. That, wait a minute, this is fucking like, this is like the Old Testament slash Bioshock. Like, that's what,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, it's kind of amazing. And there's not a word of spoken dialogue in that film. And this is the second year in a row. Shout out to Robot Dreams that came out last year, where it's another film that doesn't have any dialogue, that uses its incredible animation to tell a story. And people, this is something that should be commended and celebrated. Like, I know that people go like, well, what about Wall-E? It's like, yeah, but there is talking wall. There's not a goddamn word in this movie. It's incredible. So it should be Flow. If it's not Flow, it should be the Wild. So literally anything but Inside Out 2. If anything besides Inside Out 2 wins, I'll be happy. Because again, I don't want Disney getting more awards at this point for animation, because these other studios like Neon, like A24 are taking chances on their animation. And it feels like Disney's kind of in this like not quite neutral, but almost like they're kind of like warming the car up. So it's like y'all need to be better. You used to be like the gold standard for animation. Be better. Step your game up. So I hope Flow wins. I think Flow winning would be an incredible achievement. So, and I think it's gonna win. So, yeah. So, gonna breeze through a couple more of these just before we get to our actual list. Achievement cinematography. Nosferatu should be Nosferatu. Not even a fucking question. Achievement costume design.
Hey, there it is. I saw Nosferatu was getting a lot of noms that other award seasons have kind of passed.
Yeah, so let me point that out
So
too.
That's awesome.
Why the fuck Lily Rose Depp isn't nominated is some bullshit.
Would that be supporting or a lead? Because I think I consider that character a lead in the story that I know.
Yeah. So yeah, that sorry, Cynthia. Actually, you know what? I would knock. I mean, I'll be real. I'd knock Carla or Cynthia off. Like, take your fucking pick. But yeah, Lily Rose Depp not being nominated is fucking ridiculous. Best documentary film. Really fucking mad that Will and Harper wasn't nominated. That's the film about Will Ferrell's friend coming out as a trans woman and them going like on a road trip together to really kind of go ahead and refamiliarize themselves with each other. Great fucking documentary. Should have got more love. Can't believe it didn't get nominated here. Pardon me. Yeah, oh yeah, and then for score, the fact that Challengers didn't get a nomination is goddamn ridiculous. Wild Robot, Wicked, Amelia Perez, Conclave the Brutalist. Out of what's nominated, it should be Wild Robot. I'm sure it will be Wicked because musical. But it should be Wild Robot. Original song. Fuck off with El Mal. That's a dumb fucking song. I don't give a like. It's a
which one is that?
That's the one. That's the one where Zoe Saldana is like in all red, and they're at that.
Okay, I got
you. Fuck that song. That song's stupid. Like it should not win. Wait, Amelia Perez got 2 nominations because it got Mi Camino too. Oh, fuck you.
Which one's Mi Camino?
I don't even remember. That's. Hang on.
What I find so fascinating about it is I, being a huge musical dork,
same.
I saw Amelia Perez when it came out on Netflix in September, maybe later, but I feel like it was a long time ago. Yeah. And my reaction to it is, oh my gosh, everybody has to see this. Tommy Wiseau, you can move on to the next life now because we have a new The Room. This is the schlockiest, most goofiest shit I have ever seen. And I love how dumb it is. And now fast forward to January, and I'm like, I guess people like it for real and not ironically.
Because I'll be real, man. Like, we might as well be nominating telenovelas for fucking Emmys, like, by this logic. And let me be clear, and just to be a total dude, telenovelas, they're showing more skin. There's more sex in these. There's like none of that in here. Like, this isn't like a hot, sexy movie. It's like,
it's interesting because interesting is the wrong word. I need to get that word out of my vocabulary. Selena Gomez like dry humps a bed because she misses her lover, her secret lover, and it's such a nothing plot. It is such a nothing silly plot. Because why do you have a secret lover? Your spouse is gone. What,
dude? Why? Like, I was like, that was what I said. I was like, why are we? You know what's so frustrating, man?
Then
like,
they meet and they have like zero chemistry. Is what I was going to end with. Her and her secret lover don't even look like they'd hold hands.
He is like flaccid. He's like a flaccid dick of a person. He's like nothing.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
It's so weird. So Selena Gomez, like, I think she is so goddamn attractive. I think she's so, like, I watched this that Apple documentary she did about her mental health. I thought that was actually a beautiful documentary. It actually made me respect her a lot more. And like, I've watched a little bit of Only Murders, and I'm just like, she just seems like a charming person. I agree. And she's She's no longer looking like she was in Spring Breakers. All of you who thought she was hot, gross, by the way.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
seeing her now, I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay, Selena. Okay. But it's like the movie doesn't even do anything with that. Like she's mostly covered up. Like she leaves this voice message where she's like, "Oh, I need to fuck you," and that's as close as we get. I'm like, if you're gonna go tell a novella, fucking go tell a novella. Like give me fucking shootouts. Let's shorten the dress a little bit. But it's like, no, you couldn't even do schlock right. It's like, god damn
Yeah.
it, movie. Like, what's your point? Also, one of my biggest pet peeves, getting nominated twice, same film getting nominated twice in one category, that needs to be outlawed. I hate that shit. I've always hated that shit. It irritates the fuck out of me. Hate it. So just off that alone, and because I really actually like the song, Like a Bird from Sing Sing should win. Great fucking song. Please check it out.
Yeah.
God, oh yeah, all right, okay, we got two more and then we'll move on. Writing adapted screenplay. Oh my god, this is adapted. Amelia Perez oh Jesus Christ. So yeah, fuck you. Don't want that winning. Yeah, anything else besides Amelia Perez? A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing. Hopefully Sing Sing. Because Sing Sing is great. Yeah, that one. Writing original screenplay, Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, The Substance. Wait a fucking minute. Wait. Okay. Wow.
What's up?
I just realized I completely skipped over actor and supporting role. Sorry, my brain just broke for a second.
That's all right. I thought maybe you didn't like any of them.
No. Kieran Culkin. Boom. Game over. Give it to him. He deserves it. There we go.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah, like Guy Pearce, and it sucks too because Guy Pearce is so great in The Brutalist, and just because the AI shit now, I have like a hate boner for that movie. So no, I don't want you winning anything.
Like,
so
knowing that Jesse Eisenberg wrote A Real Pain,
yeah,
that sat down and wrote it, like I feel like if the Flash does have time traveling powers and existed, he should go back and be like, "Hey Zach, maybe let the actor playing Lex look at your script."
Yeah,
maybe let him add a couple notes there.
Yeah, I'm like
maybe
let an actual writer handle your shit.
I'm not sure who writes. Was it Goyer? I don't know who writes. Maybe there's some nuance there.
Yeah,
that could be added. Oh yeah, I love that script a lot. All of these are kind of great though. I haven't seen The Brutalist, but yeah. Anyways,
yeah, that's gonna be a movie that's gonna challenge you because like that'll movie that'll take you 6 months to watch. Like you'll finish that around.
I do have it. Well, no. Our friend and friend of the show, I'm pretty sure Nate told me because I asked him like, "Hey, my kids are interested in the big Oscar pictures. Anything in The Brutalist that you'd be like, well, my friend Brad definitely wouldn't want him to see that." That's how I imagine people think I sound. And he says yes, like 3 things, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, there's one thing in like the last 45 that and I'll be real.
Wow.
Like it's not the act itself, even though the act itself is not great. It's the flippant nature in which they treat the act that's fucking pissed. But I actually think that could be a discussion for you to have with your kids that would actually warrant some growth. So,
all right, well there you go.
But Josh from the Afternoon Tune says, "Hey, it's Ebony and Ivory. You are completely right. I am totally okay with that nickname." But Brad and his family are always invited to the cookout because I love his family.
Thank you.
All right. So got through the Oscar shit. I will be doing an Oscar watch along. I will even go black tie for that shit. I will watch that in real time and react in real time. I don't know if I'll be doing it on the Afternoon Tune or if I'll just be doing it solo. Probably solo. But yes, I will be doing a watch along for that for those of you who care. All right. So now we can move on officially. I'm going to start off with dishonorable mentions. So this year, I will say, I won't watch this movie right now because my brain is just like, I can't handle this. Like, I was going to watch Reagan. I made it a point. I was like, I'm going to sit down and watch Reagan. And I watched the trailer and I just saw Jon Voight's creepy self in Diz Quaid's big fucking forehead. And I was just like, I'm not watching 2.5 hours. Like I can't, people. Just with all the shit I'm seeing from Trump daily, I can't justify watching Reagan, at least right now. I just can't. So when that shit hits streaming, I'll do a review of it, and I'll probably amend my list, my worst of list accordingly, because I'm sure it'll be on there like once I see it. But paying $6 to rent Reagan to just torture myself, just I can't justify it. So yeah, so a review for Reagan will be incoming at some point when it hits streaming, but I can't justify paying $6 to. It's also like 2 hours 40 too, which I'm just like, fuck. Like
now,
that.
do you feel conflicted knowing that his Reagan performance will probably be phoned in, like a lot of these to the choir films is what they're called, and I don't mean that as negative. The people involved have been very transparent about this is for our choir, you know,
Yeah.
when they make these movies. Do you feel like a conflict knowing that Dennis Quaid actually is incredibly talented and he's just kind of selling out? Because
So
in the substance, wow, like
but
they told him to be a creepy weirdo and he nailed it, you know?
but also though, like, let's be real, man. Like his wife is like 32, so him hitting on someone
I have
half his
no
age
idea.
is not a stretch for him. So
he didn't have to dig deep.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like you know, like it would be like you if you're like, all right, Hunter, I have a movie role for you. You have to be you have to be a flirty black dude who loves weed. I'd be like, cool, I got it. give me the script.
And a lot of the jokes that you say in my film, they have to like borderline like making people uncomfortable. And when the uncomfortable people say that to you, you say good in their face.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh man, I can nail this.
This role's written for me.
Right? Seriously. I'd be like, cool, let's go. Like, 2 takes some tops, let's go. But I just can't. I can't.
I get it.
It's so weird too, because the fact he is playing Reagan, like, oh man.
Like, I wonder, like I can't even think of what that would be about, unless I think the biggest moment they would want to focus on, a filmmaker, I mean, is his alleged triumph over Gorbachev and his wall.
Yeah.
But knowing the political climate now, I could see the Angel Studio people, not that they did this film, I'm not sure, but just that
Might
Christian film people being like, whoa, we can't have him talking down to the Russians.
Right.
Like, how things have changed.
and loves white women. Don't forget that part. It's so funny. Josh gives me shit for always loving white women, and he's posting Rhea Ripley pictures every day. But yeah, sure, I'm the asshole. But all right, whatever. but yeah, man. So I can't with Reagan. But I don't have these in any particular.
To watch that.
Yeah, I don't have these in any particular order. So we'll just have a discussion with it. I know you don't do a worst of, but I know there was shit you hated. So, like, throw a movie out. What was something that?
Yeah. I got a letterbox, so I pretty much read my 1-sentence reviews on my letterbox to the kids. This one's towards the bottom, and my kids are like, "Dad, that's really mean." So I'm gonna read it now because I'm kind of ashamed of it because I don't like being a mean person. And I was like, "Really? It's fun." So this was the. This was The Watchers. If you've seen The Watchers and you don't hate it, that's great. I got completely immersed in what The Watchers is about because it's about a very specific thing that I won't spoil. And I feel that all of that was ridiculously mishandled and
Shyamalan. Yeah, I heard this was not great.
Here's my letterbox.
Okay.
The Watchers. Okay, let's see. Old man with his phone, everybody. I guess The Sixth Sense skips a generation.
Wow. Yeah. That's biting. I like that. Jesus.
So that's definitely a dishonorable mention for me.
I mean, 32% of Rotten Tomatoes is not great.
If the twist wasn't what it was, I probably wouldn't even hate it that much. But I got so immersed in the lore of what her take on this is. I think I was just too precious. Like, well, that's not how that is. This is stupid. Harumph, you know? The fact that a lot of people hated it also kind of made me feel vindicated, but Yeah, just very, very dull retelling of something I used to like think was very creepy and scary. So
That's fair. I'll throw one out here. So what do you get when you take a Netflix movie with a Netflix a Netflix action film, you put someone in the starring role who has no reason or right to be starring in an action film, you get Kevin Hart's Lift. I y'all, we need to stop with this shit. Kevin Hart is not an action star. We need to stop. We need to stop with this. I'm so over this dude. Like, I've been saying Kevin Hart sucks for years, by the way, and it feels like people are finally starting to catch up to my line of thinking. So I'm gonna read my letterbox to go ahead and mirror you. So per my letterbox review, Lyft, as in what Kevin Hart needs in his shoes to buy me for me to buy him as a master thief. So that's the first. That's your first sentence. Lyft, as in someone lifting this bullshit script off of some napkins thrown in a dumpster inside of a downtown Los Angeles Dairy Queen. Lyft, as in fails to move forward in any way. Or lift, as in facelift, which is what this movie is in dire need of, from the script of the casting to the direction. You don't get to do 2 seasons of Die Hard and then go, now 3 seasons, because I saw there's a Die Hard 3, and then go, no, I actually want to be an action star. This is no longer parody. I want a hoverboard, my cats to talk, and reparations. Sadly, we don't always get what we want. That's my review for Lift. Yeah, I Oh, actually, I have one more. I have one more line here. And no matter how much money you have, how many people swear to me you're a great stand-up, there's one thing you'll never be, and that's a great actor. That's a little mean, but I stand by it. It's not good. It's not a good fucking movie. Like it's and we have to.
Did you also see Borderlands?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
I was gonna ask, is this worse on his career than Borderlands? But okay, we'll get there.
Netflix is in this really weird, terrible space where they just keep doing these very mid action movies with giant ass budgets, and I don't get it. It's like, can you get someone to write a script for any of these? Like, could someone, like, you're talking to someone who grew up in the TNT movies for guys who like movies era. I love a good dumb action flick, but these are just like, there's no effort or anything put in. Like, there's nothing discerning these within each other. Like, I was talking to one of my friends on Blue Sky about it. I was like, if you mix this and that Jennifer Lopez movie she did, Atlas, I would get them confused, because I was like, oh yeah, Atlas was this past year. Another movie that really should be on this list, by the way, because Atlas is not good at all. But like, Netflix, fuck it. And I'll be real with this whole, like, Netflix is going to raise their prices again. I think I'm going to cancel my Netflix until Stranger Things comes out, or until there's a new season of Arcane for Alea to watch. Because I'm like, what am I paying you guys for? You're not putting any effort in, clearly. And you have the balls to go, you can't share your password. Fuck you, Netflix. You fucking assholes. Like, upscale all your shit to 4K if you're gonna make me pay more. Like, don't give me this shit. So, that's one, is Lyft. I'll throw it back to you, sir. What else you got?
So again, no shade on any of the actors in this next movie. I think drowning is a common phobia.
Yes.
But the act of being unable to breathe, I think all life understands is a terrifying thing. And for Night Swim to make that boring just has it on my terrible, terrible list. It's a pretty basic review I wrote. I was foolish to think a haunted swimming pool could entertain for 2 hours. I think Wyatt Russell is awesome. He doesn't really have much of a character other than discount Jack Torrance for
Oh,
you know? And I don't know, seeing people in water and being held underwater and there being no struggle, like it's just an inconvenience. Like, okay,
I agree. I agree. I
it's
hate
like
that.
that.
That's a trope I despise.
This is ripping the fear way out. Like drowning should be full of tension,
Dude.
and it's just dull. And yeah, incredibly long as well. The short film's good. You can catch that on YouTube. That
I
it's
heard the
based
short film's
on.
really
It's
good.
kind
Yeah.
of got a dark humor to it, even. But yeah, and I don't know. The pool is haunting me. Well, okay. I guess we should keep an eye on it. Like, all right, what do we do again? Shout out to Patrick Wilson in Insidious for being like the only scary movie dad to be like, well, let's just leave then.
Yeah, so
Like, it's the only movie.
I will
Yeah.
always give him that because that is like that is like I was amazed when he was like, "Why don't we just leave?" I was like, "Holy shit, a white person said it."
Oh, that's why their marriage worked out.
Yeah,
He
I was like,
listens.
yeah. That shout out to Nick at the Afternoon Tune, who despite like he's been ranting about Night Swim, like I've been ranting about like Unfrosted all year. Like that has been his like nemesis film, and I haven't watched Night Swim. I might watch it, but man, it's been kind of a sick joy listening to Nick just bitch about how much he hates Night Swim. Shout out to the Afternoon Tune, by the way. Their best and worst of is up on their channel now. Check it out.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay, so I will throw it back. I actually forgot this movie came out last year. Like I actually had to double check. I was like, did it come out last year? I was like, oh my god, it did. A movie that doesn't take it nearly far enough, but a film that's just gross. Miller's Girl. Why does this exist? Like, why do I want to see Jenna Ortega kind of sort of seduce Bilbo? Like, is he Bilbo? He's Bilbo, right? Or is
yeah. He was Bilbo in The Hobbit.
yeah.
Martin Freeman, right? Yeah.
Why? Like, why is this movie a thing? Like, I don't like these sort of movies always bug me because it's like you're very much playing around with the idea of it. If you're gonna do this movie, fucking commit to it. Like, make me get uncomfortable. But it doesn't commit to it. It's just a very base level, like, like it's nothing. And then his wife, like Martin Freeman's wife. Oh my god, what a cunt! What an absolute cunt! She's so goddamn mean at every fucking turn. She's so goddamn cruel. Like he wrote a book, it didn't work out, and she is just busting his balls at every chance. Like you're a failed writer. You're a failed writer. Did you know you're a failed? It's like goddamn bitch. Like this is how like it should like if the gender roles were reversed, it would be a snapped episode. It's just like it's like the woman held the pillow over over her husband's mouth and just fucking suffocated him. And I would have been like, yeah, totally fair. How many times can you hear you're a failed writer until you just fucking snap? It's such a bad movie. So oh god, what's her name? There is the girl who plays her friend in the movie, Gideon Adlon, that's her name. She plays Winnie. She was in Blockers. A great movie, by the way, a great fucking comedy. I really like her screen presence, and she's also quite attractive. She's something. She's got kind of the one thing in the movie I was kind of interested in, and they even fuck up her character. So I was like, all right, what's the fucking point? Like, why am I here? Also, even for being 90 minutes, it feels like almost 2 hours. Like that's one of my biggest peeves in general is when I know like a movie is short and I'm still looking at my watch. I'm like, how late? Like, how far are we into this shit? Yeah, it feels like a 2 hour long film, and look, I love Jenna Ortega. I think she's an incredible fucking talent. But this is just one of those where it's like, let's bury this in my filmography. Like, yes, I made a mistake. Let's just let's just move on. Yeah. But yeah, Miller's Girl, absolute crap. I gave it a star, and that like we can't do quarter stars, so I guess it has to be a star. But yeah, Miller's Girl. There's one for me. Canada, throw it back to you.
All right. So I'm a huge Richard Jenkins fan. So I saw the movie If because he's in it. I saw him on the cast list.
Oh
He
no.
he voices a character for I don't know,
Oh.
maybe 5 minutes. It's hard to say. Maybe 5 minutes. And I was all like, "Yay, Richard Jenkins! I'm a geek." But here's my full review.
All right, what
This
you
is
got?
the John Krasinski written and directed. If some ideas should be left in a quiet place.
One
If
thing.
is, you know what? If is bad because of imagination is so hard to do films about
It really is.
because
Yeah.
imagination as a concept is anything, you know?
Yeah.
And every time Ryan Reynolds is attached to a movie where a theme is use your imagination, they're just terrible for some reason.
Green Lantern looking
Yeah,
at
yeah,
you.
that's the way.
Yeah. Which you think would be the easiest one to do.
And I grew up on classic Cartoon Networks and I own them and my kids have seen them, so we're watching as a family and the characters all like, my name's Blue, even though I'm purple, I'm still called
Dude.
Blue. And my kids right away are like,
Yeah.
is this ripping off Foster's Home for Imaginary Children?
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't think so, but so many
Yeah.
phrases in the whole thing seem lifted from the script of Foster's Imaginary Home.
Dude,
That one's
you could
such a superior storytelling
you
as
could throw this
well.
back to Nickelodeon, something like Kablam, even like you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
like fucking Shock Zone, like that's where my brain, like, because I was like, okay,
yeah,
like Shock Zone,
yeah,
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, fucking Bobby's World. If you wanted like a real throwback, you could all the way back to
there
Bobby's,
you
like
go.
fucking
And that's exactly it. Because it's like, oh well, imagination lives here, and what do they do with their imagination? They have a dance party to Billboard's Top 100 currently. Like that's not
yeah,
Bobby, like you said, Bobby, the lead in Chalk Zone, Foster's Home for Imaginary Children. They're having wacky, zany, like, oh, that's cool. A giant ladder made of spaghetti. Awesome. He just pulled that
yeah.
out. Children are amazing. But this, let's dance to a song I heard. Pretty weak on imagination there, Mr. Krasinski. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I didn't watch If, because I'll be real, like my official worst of has several kids films on it, and man, the kids like, oh, like there might be a movie involving a purple crayon that is very high on my worst of list, because man, that movie just the anger I have for that goddamn crayon. Like, I had someone ask me, because they were getting crayons for the kid, and they like, I know about that shit. They're like, oh, what crayon should I get? And my hand actually twitched when I when I saw the word crayon. I was like, ah, it's like stop that. Like, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. I will throw out another one here, since you brought it up anyway. Borderlands. Goddamn Hollywood. Can y'all, like, what is it about getting IPs where it's Hollywood's like, all right, we have this IP. Let's take this IP and do nothing that even resembles the IP. Look, I have Borderlands. I have the first two on my computer. It's part of my Steam game graveyard of shame of all these games I haven't played that I will get to eventually. But I played like 12 hours ish of Borderlands, so like I'm somewhat familiar with the lore. And goddamn, like there's nothing about that movie that resembles Borderlands. Like if you gave someone like a book cover of Borderlands lore and said make a movie, that's basically what this is. I I know I just went on a whole thing about it. Kevin Hart is not an action star. We need to stop trying to make this a thing. It's made even worse by the fact that I really believe that if you had someone who, gave a fuck and cared, you probably could have gotten Idris Elba for this shit and been like, hey, you're basically playing Bloodsport. Like, but like, because Idris Elba would have made something out of this. Like, as bad as the script is, and this script is shit, but his screen presence, I think he could have gotten a little something out of this. There's nothing about this, man. Like I thought the girl who played Tiny Tina, she felt like the only person who was Ariana Greenblatt.
Okay. Yeah.
She was in She was in Love and Monsters, Dylan O'Brien's Love and Monsters, and she's in Barbie. She's the daughter to oh my god, why am I blanking on her name?
America Ferrera.
Thank you. Yeah.
She's
Thank
great.
you. Yeah, she's great in that. Like, I think she's a really good actress, and I really think she has something. But goddamn, man, like Kate Blanchett. And look, I love Kate Blanchett. Like mommy jokes aside, I love me some Kate Blanchett. She's too fucking old to be playing Lilith. I'm sorry. She is. Like, Mackenzie Davis, I'm sure wasn't doing anything. Fucking get Mackenzie Davis. Like, because Mackenzie, like, it bothers me so much how gorgeous and talented and the screen presence that Mackenzie Davis can bring to something. And the only action thing we've put her in is a fucking Terminator movie. Let's get her in a good action film, for fuck's sake. Like, she's so goddamn good. But Kate Blanchett shouldn't have been playing her. Jamie Lee Curtis playing Tannis, like she's not that old in the games. Like come on. The one person I kind of liked, just because I think he has great screen presence, is Florian Mutnow, who was in Creed 2, Creed 3. He was also in Shang-Chi. The chemistry that he has with Tiny Tina was actually one of the few things I actually liked about the movie.
Yeah.
But goddamn, like, it's that movie, those games are so colorful and filled with life and all these like bright, like it feels so muted as a film from a cinematography perspective, especially.
That's unfortunate.
And the other thing too is it breaks down to, we have to take down the evil, the evil tech genius. We have to take down, I don't even know the guy's name. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the villain who fucking cares. But I was trying to look it up, and I'm just like, yeah,
I have no idea,
like,
man.
yeah. But it's like it really is just like based, like, because if I'm writing it, what I would have done, have it be like you have to liberate the town, kind of go like Three Amigos with it, or I say
just something simple in a giant world of lore,
exactly. And then you can build the lore, around that. I say Three Amigos. I should have referenced Magnificent Seven first, but Three Amigos.
I think Cronenberg taught me through a history of violence commentary, the best way of building lore for a world is to just have someone walk into somebody's bar. Apparently, Viggo Mortensen gathered all the personal knickknacks of his character to put around his own shop in A History of Violence. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And every little thing in there meant something to Viggo Mortensen's character. Like, have him protect a town. Have someone walk in and have it covered with Easter eggs from the game. Freaking gamers love that shit.
They do.
Don't like more than what do they call it? Mugging the freaking stupid ass camera and be all like, I'm Claptrap. Fun.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say,
just make my check out to cash.
Right, exactly. and look, and I'll be real, man, I'm mad at Jack Black for being a shit friend to Kyle with what Kyle said about the Trump shit, which he was 1,000% right to say, by the way, considering what this fucker's doing just the first 3 days.
And I mean, they're a rock band.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck? Really? Like, that's your line? Like,
what if like Pussy Riot was like, okay, guys, calm down, mosh pit.
Great Pussy Riot shot. Yeah,
I had no idea Tenacious D was. Well, obviously, only half of them is kind of poser-ish. Like, that's the most poserish attitude I've heard from a rock band, but I don't know.
Oh, in new news, Green Day is removing American Idiot from it's like
because it's offensive.
Yeah, because if there's anything about rock music, it should never offend you or make you think. But yeah, Borderlands felt long too. That's the other thing. It's like it just felt like a grind to get through. And anytime Kevin Hart shot a gun, I was just like, God, you're not buying. Like,
did he seem kind of skittish with it? Or?
Yeah, it's like you don't buy yourself doing this shit. It's like come on, man. Yeah,
He was shockingly effective with guns in films. She hasn't been in too much of them. Only the two, Domino and Annihilation, come to mind. But Natalie Portman looks like she could kill a room full of guys John
She
Wick style with a.
does.
It's crazy.
She's more convincing swinging a fucking hammer than Kevin Hart is holding a gun. And she might not have even had a real fucking hammer. It might have been like a fucking broom handle, and he like CGI.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Like oh god, he's so bad.
the effects
Anyways,
really are incredible these days.
and again, I will say, because again, dude,
Mhm.
the one thing that made me perk up, giggity, is Gina Gershon is Moxie in this. I was like, oh, hello.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that I mean, but again, dude, like I shouldn't have to go like the best thing about the movie was the boobs. Like come on, like can y'all try Hollywood? Like, and the budget on this was over 100 million. That is goddamn ridiculous. That is goddamn ridiculous.
That was mostly for the cast because it doesn't
I
look
have
very inspiring.
so I'll tell you right now, dude, I could not see it on the screen. I was sitting there, I was like, what the fuck on the screen is worth like, and even there's this chase sequence that I was just sitting there and I was yawning. I was like, there's better action scenes in Thelma than there is in Borderlands.
Yeah,
like
Thelma a lot.
Yeah, Thelma's great. Thelma on her scooter gave me more thrills than anything.
Chase.
Yeah, give me that shit all day over this. So, all right, yeah. So okay, and I'm gonna throw out one more before I throw it back to you. Because you reminded me of this movie.
Okay.
The Union, starring Mark Wahlberg and how. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, y'all, I am so over Mark Wahlberg. I've been over Mark Wahlberg, but this dude he will not shut the fuck up. He will not go away, and I am just like, for fuck's sake, can I get a break? Like, he's fallen into that Johnny Depp category, like in like late 2000s, early 2010s, where it felt like he was fucking everywhere, and I was just like, you are just swinging and missing, man. Like, can you sit down on the bench for like 5 years and give me a chance to like not deal with your bullshit? Because I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna play a little game. I'm just gonna read off the last couple films that Mark Wahlberg has done. Arthur the King. It's
about the dog.
The dog,
right?
Yeah. Okay. Keep in mind, Dennis Quaid also did a dog movie for Dog's Purpose. Actually, he did 2 of those. Actually, now I think about it. So yeah, the racist white dude doing a movie for an animal seems to be like a smokescreen to like, don't look into my politics. Like, you're not fooling me, Mark Wahlberg. Like,
I have a heart of gold. I'd pet a dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
the Catholics are being persecuted.
Exactly. Now, if it was a black lab, I'd kick the shit. I hope that's not true, but I wouldn't put it past Mark Wahlberg. Anyways, so The Union, Gag, Uncharted 2 years ago, Arthur the King, and The Family Plan, which was high on my worst of it.
That one.
That's the one. That's that Apple TV movie where he used to be a spy and he's married to Michelle Monaghan. Oh man, that movie. That's some shit. I hate that movie. Oh god, that movie's so bad. Father Stew, 2022. Oh god, what else? Me Time with him and Kevin Hart. That movie's shit. Like he has been in some bullshit the last couple years. He probably hasn't been anything good since Instant Family, which I think was like 2018. Wow, I was right. Go me. I just don't think Mark Wahlberg gives a shit anymore. I really don't. And he's got this new movie coming out called Flight Risk, I think is what it's called. Which is directed by Mel Gibson. Yippee. So I'm sure there won't be any political slant to that at all. I know nothing about the movie. I'm gonna assume it's about him stopping terrorists. That sounds like something that Mark Wahlberg
some kind of trafficking on a plane.
Yeah. Or who knows? Maybe it's a 9/11 movie. Maybe it's like Maybe it's like like Patriots Day, where it's like, I could have stopped 9/11 if I was on I could stop the Boston bombing. I could have stopped 9/11 if only I was on the plane. That feels like a movie that he would make. But this movie straight up, gross as shit, because there's an actual point where Halle Berry fucking fine ass Halle Berry. See, Josh, I do like black women. Fuck you. Where Halle Berry points out rightfully, hey, your dad was a racist to me in high school. And Mark Wahlberg basically goes like, oh, come on, we're from Boston. Look at that's part of our charm is being racist. It's like, wow, fuck you, dude. And the movie just goes, yeah, like, forgive and forget that racism. It's like, no, absolutely fucking not. And like any other year it's on my list, but I watched some absolute shit this year. So yeah, I absolutely hated it. Absolute crap. Halle Berry deserves better. Quite frankly,
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. And she had that fucking like movie she had made for Netflix that they just shelved, like that Space Odyssey. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Netflix just went, no, we're shelving that, but here we'll put out The Union. Like, fuck off. Like, it's like, come on now.
It's a very popular genre, man.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
we actually shared that one. That's on my worst of list as well, or dishonorable mentions.
Oh yeah, what's your review for that? What's your
It's kind of a sad one. True Lies is never going to happen again, and films like this are a good reminder of that bittersweet pill.
You're not wrong. Like True Lies feel like, and keep in mind, True Lies has Tom Arnold in that, who should sink that movie. that's how good True Lies is.
The weirdest thing about The Union, and it's so Mark Wahlberg, because J.K. Simmons, who is a working actor, whatever he's in, I'm fine with it. He's just a working actor.
He's the one thing in that movie for like the 8 minutes he's in it, because he's not in it a lot, but he does bring a little gravitas to it.
Yeah, and it's the weirdest, strangest thing from Mark Wahlberg's political ideology right now, which he's open about. I'm not trying to throw him under a bus, or maybe I will.
Fuck, yeah. I will fuck your ideology.
Yeah. So it's like, he's like, what? Yeah, you need someone like me, and they're like, yeah, we need someone who knows how a transmission works and how to start a car and down to earth, salt to the earth. And he's all like, well, I don't even need to know what the pay is, because some things are more important than money. And it's like, fucking, what are you talking about? You're a millionaire.
Yeah,
You're a freaking millionaire.
I'm sorry, Mr. Entourage. I'm sorry, Mr. Entourage movie. Really?
Yeah. Why is that side reasserting like you should just enjoy the work and the taste of your CO's boot? You don't need to get paid a lot.
Right?
Like, what is going on with that?
You should work overtime for free. What are you talking? It's like, fuck you.
I'm not going to quite quit this spy job because it's the work that's important, right, Halle Berry? Yeah.
So ridiculous. So, what's another film you have on your honorable mentions? Right. We'll each throw out one more.
This one was a sad one for me. It's called Werewolves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's with Frank Grillo, who's great. I think Frank Grillo is amazing. I like what? Support werewolves, but it is so boring, and there are so many lens flares in this film. Hundreds of lens flares throughout the whole thing.
Abrams directed, or
no, they're like huge and in your face. And me and my daughters, who watch scary movies together, are like, "How is there this? How are this many? It's nighttime. We are in a nighttime scenario, and the moon is out, and we're catching all these lens flares." And it does have a very comedic, very again, no shade on any of the actors, because it's it's schlock, it's schmaltzy, it's a horror movie that you'd see on Sci-Fi at like 3 a.m. following a feature about a shark. It's supposed to be dumb.
Fair,
but there's a scene where she's like, "Baby, I need you to hide in this cabinet and don't come out unless the secret knock or something." And she goes, "I love you, Mom." And the actress goes, "Uh-huh." And just shuts the door.
Oh,
I'm like, what? So I'm thinking, one, these two probably were not in the same scene together.
Yeah.
Because I cannot picture a single actress being like, "Well, I'm not going to say that back."
Yeah,
especially when their character is mother,
unless they're going to get cigarettes and never come back, like that's then sure.
Wait, you think that was the tone? Like, yeah, no one's coming back for you in this cabinet. You're making this harder than it has to be. Oh, but yeah, it was And I was
That
excited. We were all excited for it because Frank
I was
Grillo is
excited
so
for that
fun.
too. Yeah.
And it's not long, but it feels long because nothing happens.
Mhm.
I do like a lot of the werewolf costuming, but yes, just I don't know, a really silly idea that maybe was overstretched and they didn't have any kind of a budget to make it work. I don't know. Yeah,
That's
it was a
rough.
bummer.
All right, I got I'm not gonna spend too long talking about these, but I'm just gonna throw them out real quick. Argyle, Matthew Vaughn, dude, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know if there's like a death in the family or like you stopped taking your meds or like I don't, dude, what are you doing? What is happening to you? You are Drake levels of spiraling. You are you are like your shit recently has been so goddamn bad, and I don't get it. Like that's a movie that's just twists for the sake of twists. Um,
Yeah.
and then like I'm gonna be real, man. Like this is kind of like Robert Rodriguez with the Spy Kids films, where I'm like, can someone else take over the Kingsman IP? Someone who has ideas for it and like do something with it? Because now at this point, I don't think we're getting Kingsman 3. I think that shit is just never happening. It feels like that point is just like that ship is just fucking sailed. I love Bryce Dallas Howard so much. I love her so goddamn much. She has been so consistent for Star Wars shit. She deserves a Star Wars film, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. Are you hearing me? She deserves a Star Wars film. Like, don't give the shit to Patty Jenkins. Let Bryce Dallas Howard, the one who's directing probably the best episodes of that universe outside of Favreau.
I'm pretty sure that just to interject on what you're saying and support Skeleton Crew, she directed an episode, and I'm pretty sure it's the highest rated of this season as well. Once again,
yeah, she gets Star Wars. Let her do it. But Argyle is fucking terrible, and Argyle is so bad it makes Henry Cavill unattractive because that shit haircut they gave him. Oh my god, what were they like? What were y'all thinking? That's it's so bad. Absolutely terrible film. Speaking of directors who are just fucking swinging and missing, Paul Feig, Jackpot. Holy fuck, what was that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, so that's the one with Aquafina and John Cena where
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah, sorry, that one. Yeah, that shit. Like
makes Ninja Turtle references the whole movie.
Yeah, like that's the one where it's like, oh, if you kill someone, you get the lottery. And like it's a worse version, ironically enough, basically of what The Lonely Island put out, because The Lonely Island is more creative and inept than Paul Feig is. That film Self-Reliance that came out last year with Jake Johnson and Anna Kendrick. It's basically that movie, but it's longer and more drawn out. Yeah, watch Self-Reliance. That's on Hulu, and that's actually a much better film. Yeah, man, like John Cena, I'm a fan. Not a fan of how he talks about Vince McMahon, but I'm a fan of John Cena. Yeah, John, dude, like, come on, man, like,
it's like down. That quote from Parasite, which I'm going to butcher. For some reason, money irons out people's reality. Like, oh no, rain! This rain, it ruined our birthday party we planned, and then also people are drowning and becoming homeless. John Cena is the guy that sees all these. Are they even accusations anymore, or have they started proving stuff?
I don't know.
Well, he sees them. He's in this. He sees them. He's in this La La Land financial status, I'll say. So he's all like, "Oh no, my friend's inconvenienced," instead of focusing on the wrinkles. The wrinkles of what actually the problem is, and that's me apologizing to your audience, giving John Cena perhaps way too much the benefit of the doubt, but I think that's why that's how I've made terms with it. Because how is the biggest, most generous Make-A-Wish Foundation guy of all time have this take about Vince McMahon as well? These two things do not make sense. So yeah, we live in a crazy world and people are layered, and I'm done ranting.
Fair enough. And then the last one I will throw out is and I'm very happy the sequel to this got canceled. And So look, I've stood on business on this. I stand by the fact that I
The
love
sequel got canceled. Oh no, what's gonna happen?
I love the trilogy of films that he directed. I think Spider-Man No Way Home is the best live action Spider-Man film. I will stand on that. Wolves is one of the worst things I've watched in the last couple years. I fucking hate this movie. George Clooney and Brad Pitt being like, we're white, we're rich, let's go ahead and take some of that Ocean's chemistry that we supposedly have, but let's pour a gallon of water in it so we distill the shit so there's no chemistry between us. Holy fuck, this movie is bad.
Wow.
John Watts directed and wrote it. There's not a piece of dialogue that I liked. There's not an action scene that I cared about. There's nothing about this movie that remotely had me interested or intrigued for its near is this a 2 hour and 48.
Yeah, I didn't
it
see
felt
it.
like it felt like 2:15, and I don't know what the fuck it is with Apple, but they are so goddamn bad with action shit. Between this and fucking Ghosted, like, can you like, are y'all using AI to like put these like to approve these scripts and go, yeah, sure, here's 200 million? This budget was $200 million. Suck my balls. Are you kidding me? $200 million for this bullshit. And people are like, well, it's not that bad. I'm so like, I've been saying this, and this is an argument that, like, not even an argument, this is a discussion where even I've kind of beaten Canada into submission on it. I'm so sick of the given C's in the class for these streaming services, especially as they continue to raise their prices. No, you need to be going ahead and at least getting on base. I'm sick of strikeouts, and this is a strikeout of a fucking movie. And the fact that the movie has the balls to go, maybe we'll run this back, maybe there's gonna be a part two. No, I don't want a part two. And thankfully Apple actually came to their senses and went, oh yeah, no part two, we cancel it. But of course now John Watts is going, oh well, I didn't like the way Apple was talking to me, so I went ahead and canceled the sequel. Yeah, fuck off, dude. No, you didn't. Like good and goddamn well that you wanted that check, and they went, nah, we're good. Yeah, no, don't act like this is some like higher power and like you have integrity in terms of, yeah, no, you don't. Fuck off, dude. So I like oh my god, it's so bad. And I'm gonna be real, man. George Clooney, man, dude, talk about swinging and missing, man. Like, dude, I don't know what happened to him. Like, and I'm such a fan of Clooney's, but holy fuck, he has been swinging and missing, man. Just like, actually, let me look through.
Yeah. I'll go to IMDb too. I think the last one I really loved that he was more behind the scenes on, at least, was Ides of March with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking, was that 20 years ago?
Dude, it's been a minute. So, like, just to throw out a couple movies to you here recently, Ticket to Paradise, not great.
Not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan. He was in The Flash, which speaking of not getting a sequel.
Oh, he was in If. He did a voice in If.
Oh, there you go. That's great. It might be
the Midnight Sky people hated.
Man, that's a rough movie. Yeah, that's not. I think it's Hail Caesar. So that's
2016 Hail Caesar.
2016. God damn, that's a minute ago though.
Yeah,
like,
he just needs to get one more good one in before he hits the decade marker. He's officially over.
And let's keep in mind, Tomorrowland was the year prior to that. So like Clooney's been on.
Looks like after Gravity, he's been on. I didn't hate Monuments Men.
I didn't hate Monuments.
It wasn't like as award worthy as it was being touted as.
Yeah.
Gravity looks like the last one.
It's fine, but so yeah, people. So those are dishonorable mentions.